Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. This is Squirrel Rage Workshop. I am Jesse, your host. This is a Turbo Manifold build part 1 video. Keep in mind, while I did this video, I figured everything out kind of on the fly. I had an idea in my head, but most of this was just figured out on the fly, and I wanted to record that to capture that process. So, hope you liked the video. Thanks for checking it out. I am going to try to keep the tubes as close to equal length as possible, and I'm also going to do a opposite pulse 2-to-1 type setup. The firing order on this engine is 1, 3, 4, 2, so it's like inside to out each way. So I want to alternate that to where one pulse goes into one side of the divided, and then another pulse goes into the other side of the turbo inlet, then another pulse goes into this first one, and then the last one goes in with this one. So it's the two on the outside go to one side of the divided inlet, and the two on the inside go to the other side, keeping in mind that I need to eventually feed a larger turbo into this, and I want to do that with the minimum amount of bends, you know, because flow for both of them are equally important. So I'm just going to start messing around with things in my head. I tried to 3D scan this with Polycam. It's a phone app photogrammetry scan app, and I just can't get a good enough scan, so I'm doing it the old school way. If you notice, the vehicle is completely dusted with a white film. That's because I mixed alcohol and baby powder and sprayed everything because I got a full scan of the car, because I'm also working on over fenders for it. I'm going to try to make some over fenders for it. So I'll put that in a later video. Make sure you subscribe, because it's going to be a full build, like I said in the first video. So we got exhaust here coming in, exhaust going out here. Not gonna worry about the clock, so I'm gonna make sure that no matter what, the axis of this turbo is level. But I can also, you know, you can clock these, so this can be, if this was stationary, I can clock this, you know, this way, and same with this. So for now, I'm just gonna pretend that it is clocked where I want it and place the turbine first. The exhaust coming out of here could feed into an additional turbo. I probably got to get them both involved, so I'm just going to pin this here for now, some zip ties or something, and then I'll get the big one out as well, and that will probably help me to visualize this. Was on here for my scanning purposes. What I'm going to do is try to pin this. There's a little cutout in my valve cover here, which is kind of nice. Keep the compressor just away from it as it, you know, gets a little close.
No, I can't get enough. Took another route, no, I never ended up a cuz. Had a gat in my hand, but I didn't want to be that man. Look in the mirror, couldn't see that man. Pick pick up the pen, never stick up the man. Only pick up the stick if I need to defend. If I did it back then, might have dropped dead. Know a nigga doing that cause he a hothead. I took a ride through my city the other day. Wonder what would've happened if it all went the other way. Jump in the whip, now I reminisce on the days when I was running around the Ave. Could've never imagined the way that my life would've turned out and all of the things that I have. I ain't talking material, talking about my material. The shit that I'm writing, the shit that I've been through. I went through the worst, but I made it out. Like the Alpha Omega, then show me which way it could go. Yeah, he laid it out. Instead of just sitting on the beach, I'm reconnecting with the streets. They wasn't paying attention, I was praying for ascension. No need to mention my attention to detail. Homie, we well, prevail. Lot of motherfuckers wanna wake up every day, then they murder they own, but they know it's another way. Fuck all that violence and drugs and communities. This song right here is immunity. They call it a trap cause they trapping us. Take our money, then they don't give it back to us. Black man can't even get himself a bachelor. Dropped out of school, then he picked up the spatula. Cause he never had a good role model, just a hood role model. Now I know that's the old model. We breaking that cycle. I think I see the finish line. Got a vision now, don't diminish mine. Lot of brothers in the hood doing good, and I know I see it all the time. But they only wanna push all the drugs and all the crime on Channel 9. Fuck all that fallacy, this shit right here for my people.
Every day, wake up.
People that struggling, people work hard as they can, but they still don't feel equal. Trust me, I know.
Wake up every day.
I've been there before.
Every day, wake up every day.
Trust me, I know. That feeling don't never go.
Every day, wake up every day. 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 Wake up.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking is the exhaust will go out of the head into this turbo, bottom fed. Then it will come out of this turbine heading this way. There will be a wastegate here. Then it will feed this turbo. And this turbine will be essentially like this. And the outlet from this turbine will go straight up over my transmission and duck down to get out the back of the vehicle. That's the hot side. The cold side will be drawn into a filter here. In here, this will be clocked that away. So it will then compress air down this way to the side of the header, which sucks. I will have to definitely put a lot of heat shielding on that, but it's gonna essentially go this way and it's gonna do a U-turn here, 180 degree, and feed this compressor here. And then the outlet for that compressor will go down in the stock manner and hit the intercooler, feed through the intercooler, come back up, then go over the exhaust into my intake. So it's going to be kind of rough because I'm going to have exhaust going by the intake here in the throttle body. So I'm going to have to seriously do some heat management to keep that heat inside of the exhaust profile, if you will. So what that basically means is that for now, this turbo can sit this way. For now, I can draw my air in here with a filter, similar to stock form, and then it will go down and hit the intercooler and go up into the intake. And then the exhaust coming out of here, out of the turbine, will feed. I'm gonna go ahead and make the manifold over to this way. I'll put a V-band right here, right back here, so that whenever I go to put the bigger turbo on, I can just make it go to that V-band and I don't have to mess with anything downstream.
Gonna twist it to get this gap a little bit better. I don't want this turbine being so close to the head. And I've got this big gap over here. Put the flange on the inlet of the turbo and then put the flange on the exhaust and grab something to weld those two together and then pull it all out, and I'm gonna start making my runners.
Alright, so I got both the pieces welded together. I think it came out alright. I got these two. I went ahead and flattened the side that it's gonna join the other one. This is an outline of the T3. If I do the best I can and move it about halfway in on each one, it covers up the inside corner of the T3 inlet right there, and on this side as well. There's quite a bit of flange on the bottom side that the exhaust is going to be hitting. I'm going to take that and route that out. I still think it's going to work out. You know, I don't know. Maybe it won't. Maybe all this will have to be redone. And if that's the case, you know, oh well. I don't know where to start. I've got to start somewhere. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna weld those together. I'm probably gonna end up fusing this middle joint, and then I'll resand it to get it flat. And then I'll probably put some welds in here just to hold them together. Then I can start the runners. So I got some more tacked in here. I got that piece in there. Should have a pretty straight shot into that 45. I know it's going to be a little bit abrupt because it's going to be going straight and then it turns into this 45, but I think it's fine. It is coming along. I forgot to polish this, you can see. Got a little wrapped up in what I was doing. I'm pulling the runners off to fully weld them when I'm all done with this anyways, so I'll have to polish it then while it's attached to the rest of the runner. And I'll tack it in, and then I'll check back in with you, and then we'll do the last runner and keep showing you my progress. So if I get a good view overhead here, you can see the angle's pretty good. It's really close. So I'm going to take some off a little bit.
Outside it's already daylight and we're holding cans of hooch because of that private joke from that one time. All smiles, no hindsight. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that night. Anyway, I just met this girl. She's beautiful, man. And she was here last year as well. So we're properly getting on what you're having to drink, where you're from. And I go back and show her the picture we took last year. She starts looking at me, eyes wide, all weird. She grabs the screen and like pinches it, to zoom in. But she goes past us and into the background. I'm moving closer now, all frowns, trying to make it out. And just as I go to ask what she's trying to show me, I see it. I look up, our eyes meet, and we laugh in disbelief. 'Cause there she is. Just right there behind us. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy how things work out. Yeah, it's gonna be a good night. And you know what? It just feels nice.
Okay, so it's a couple days later now. I've started to try to figure out, I've got all the runners ran and somewhat close. I still got some gaps in my fit ups. One runner in particular was bad, so I took what would be runner one off, and I had gaps here, and I think like one here. And so I took it out and I put it all on with tight fit ups, and it looks pretty good, here. But what ended up happening is when I put this where it needs to go on the exhaust flange coming out of the head, like I only have this 1.5 inch tubing is as wide as the port. I can go a little bit each way and a little bit up and down, but nothing crazy. It has to be pretty much centered on that. And when I center it on this, it turns out that it's short. When I center that on there, after I did all the tighter fit ups, it's short. So I have to break this one apart right here and just essentially lengthen this 9/16 of an inch, and then it'll be good. This one fits up really well. I've welded 2 of the 3 joints inside, and it fits up pretty well. So what I've been doing here to back purge this sucker is just been using the 4-man solution, which is tin foil. It's worked good. With a little bit too much gas pressure on the back purge will blow the tin foil out, so you really don't need a lot. Like a lot of people online have been saying 10, but I've been finding that more like 5 or 7.5 CFH works well for me. I just let it stay on a little bit longer before I start welding, just in case like it needs a little bit more time to fill it up. I don't poke holes in it until it's like on the last joint, and on the last joint I'll poke a couple holes in it to make up for the lower CFH as well. I bought these inexpensive heat-proof cones that I drilled a hole through and bought a quick disconnect hose barb. It's just got hose barb on the end of this that I can jam in there, and it doesn't want to come out that easily because it's hose barb and it's just got a little hole there. And I can jam this in to the cavity by kind of like pushing on one side and wedging it in. I did have to grind it down because I bought it's too big a size and I didn't want to get more because I'm poor. I noticed that if I take some masking tape, it does leave a little bit of a glue residue sometimes when the heat gets to it, but acetone just takes it right off, so it's not really that big a deal. And because you move the workpiece around to weld different parts of it, and it sucks when it keeps falling out. And I've actually had it fall out while I was welding, and it sucks because then you got to stop your weld. Gas will go in here. This is a shared runner. I've got it tinfoiled off there, then I've just got to tinfoil this side. The best way to do it with tinfoil is to basically make a circle with your fingers and the old proverbial hot dog in the hallway. No, I'm just kidding. Just poke it in there. And then you got like a base, and then you can like round it around the edges. This one's going to be a little tough because it's onto the flange, but it's tinfoil, man. Just form it. It's not that big a deal. Works well. Doesn't have to fully stop the gas. I mean, that comes into my theory of I'm not poking holes in it because I know there's plenty of holes already, man. My fitment isn't tight enough to where that's an issue for me. Also notice you have to support the hose too. Like if I just let it hang off here, it'll be like pulling really bad on that. So you just find some creative way to, support it. Like sometimes I'll hang it up on top of my overhang over my workbench, or I'll like wedge it between something so where it's kind of like pushing sort of inward. Like right here, I'll probably end up doing something like this. So like that's gonna push out. That's gonna push down. Let's see, maybe I'll go this way. Yeah, so that's like got hardly any tension on it. This is gonna fall. Actually, that's gonna pull in towards it, so that's good. That's perfect. And so that's pretty stable there. The hose is in my way, which sucks, but whatever, dude. I gotta finish this bead here. Goes all the way back in there. So I wanted to try this trick that I saw that I actually learned on HP Academy, where you can actually bend the tungsten. You can make like a hook angle in it. It'll still be covered by the gas, but it'll direct the arc to the side, which I've never tried. So apparently what you do is you heat up the tungsten with a welder and another tungsten, using the gas to shield both of them. And you heat it up and you can form it when it's red hot, and then let it cool, and then put that tungsten inside of your torch, and you'll have an angled tungsten. So I'm gonna try that, and I'll film it, see if it works.
just to check I didn't say that last bit out loud. And if we get split up, I'll meet you back here in a year, between the left speaker and the smoking area where we are now, yeah, right here. Secretly hoping we don't have to wait that long. Your eyes light up and you jump to your feet, telling everybody how much you love this song. Grab my hand, hold it quick, this way, come on. We head back inside and lights sparkle behind. Your hand swims the distance between us, you and I. We lock eyes again with a circle of light and everyone's incandescent and bright. It's gonna be a good night, you know? Just move to the music. Is that them over there? Yeah. The keys are massive. And if we get split up, I'll meet you back here in a year, between the left speaker and the smoking area where we are right now, yeah, right here. And the lights sparkle behind us. Your hand swims the distance between us. Been looking forward to this all week. Can't believe we were just there in the background all this time. Yeah, man. It's blown my mind.
So
Hoping we don't have to wait.
here's where the turbo manifold ties in. And it's coming so sharp here that it's actually hitting the corner of this oil cooler and it's hitting the line here. So I need to essentially space it off of this head.
I'm going to take this opportunity to get them in there. See, like you can see that one's hanging over a little bit. This one's hanging over the other way. This one's hanging out that same way. And this one's actually like decent, but the problem is it's out this way. So I can center them a little better and make everything a little bit more cohesive as a project. Yeah. You can see I got the little arrows like indicating that I wanted the spacer to move this way for this one, this way for this one, and this way for this one. I'll end up taking the die grinder and just kind of shaping it when I'm done. So if I have some abrupt corners when it goes in there, I'll just take it out with the die grinder, like I'm porting it, basically. Okay, so I've executed what I was talking about with the small 3/4 inch tube pieces to extend the runners like so. And then I went ahead and I took my die grinder and routed this all out to be fairly smooth. It's decent, you know. The short sides are, it's definitely fine, you know, for what it is. I'm sure that, I mean, I know flow matters for sure, but it's more pressure than anything. But you know, I figure why not try to get it to flow the best I could. So anything I could reach, I hit with a die grinder to make it a smooth transition. And now I got to take some, I got to smooth it out because it's pretty rough from the die grinder. I don't think I have to, but I'm gonna, just because I'm gonna get it all tip top while I'm here. So I'm gonna hit it with some cartridge sandpaper rolls and then some little hone balls. All right, so that's it for this video. This is part one. Next part will be the final part, hopefully, for the exhaust system, and that'll be the wastegate routing, all the hot side stuff, meeting back up to the mid pipe, the down pipe, oxygen sensors, all that stuff. But it came out pretty good for phase one here. They all centered pretty nice. You know, it worked out okay. So thanks for checking the video out, and subscribe so you can check out the next ones. And I'll see you then. Peace out.